Good morning. I would like to remind you the bodhicitta. The topic that we have been discussed yesterday was the Tibetan word Sangye Nyenpa Rinpoche means mind is first. Second, the mind is devoid of a mind. Then the last, because the mind is clear light. So these three classifications we have been discussed the first and the second topics yesterday, and today we will continue the third, but actually it is linked to the second, which is the mind is devoid of mind because mind is clear light. So I can't say this is totally the third classification, because without the class mind is the devoid of mind, one cannot discover the clear light within. This true quality, the emptiness and the clear light, Tibetan word is called Tongpa, is the emptiness, and Salwa is the clear light. So cannot make these two apart. When you try to discover the characteristic of the true nature of mind, so without associating these two, the sense of emptiness and that is inseparable from the clear light, then one cannot discover the definite of the true nature of the mind. So every single thought that arises from your mind is always associated with these two, the clear light and it's empty. So when we say that I watch my mind, you watch your mind through the thoughts. So without thoughts, that you cannot see your mind. So our practice is with the thought, not the mind itself. So when I say mind is empty, then you can find through the training of your thoughts. Give an example like when you are angry. So you have to watch the essence of the anger. So essence of the anger is never apart from the characteristic of the emptiness and the clear light. So therefore, this is the process that one individual try to go into the realization of the true nature of your mind. So through the training or the recognition of each and every dose, the discursive thoughts. So therefore, yesterday's topic, Tibetan word Senma-chi, means that the mind is never truly existed. It's innately from the mind itself. It's not that you have made the mind empty. That's wrong. This is a very dangerous emptiness. And you cannot make mind empty if mind itself is inherently existed. With this matter, if this is the case, then no matter how much you do meditation, how much you try to develop the power of your mind, and you cannot make the instant change of this solid existence of mind at all. So therefore, the Senma-chi, the word itself, the ma-chi means naturally or innately. The mind is there, but it is there in the essence of the interdependence. And because of this, then you can practice. Because of this, you can discover your true nature of mind. So therefore, so that's why it's a bit different to me when you say mind is not there. It sounds quite strange because mind is there. So therefore, we are still wandering in this samsara. So, but then that doesn't matter. But here, what we are trying to tell you is, mind is innately. That's very important. Tibetan word, dömane. Döma. Dö means the innately, naturally, or co-emergently, and never existed. Philosophically, in a Madhyamika system, each school tells a different story, but that really doesn't matter. And everyone has their own reason. It's all for the benefiting practitioners. But then, from our tradition, the Kamakaju tradition, particularly the tradition of like the third Kamapa, Rangjung Dorji, and the eighth Kamapa, Miju Dorji, and the Wangchu Dorji, and the Kamakaju, the great masters, what they say is, although it's philosophical explanation or experiential explanation really doesn't matter, once you are truly realize the mind is emptiness, then whether you say mind is not truly there or mind is not there, it's totally the same. It really doesn't bother at all. Yeah, so you can say whatever you like. But until that, like a Gelugpa tradition, is quite interesting. In their tradition, they make very clear distinguishment between the truly or inherently not existed and it is not existed. There's quite a big gap. When you say mind is not there or mind is not existed, then they say it's very scary. It's very scary. Then because like the cause and the effect, the 5 parts, 10 bhumis, the practices all are based on mind. So the individual who does not actualize the emptiness, then he may or she may misunderstand. So when someone say the mind is not existing, so for this reason, so they are precisely explain the mind is not inherently existed. Mind is not inherently existed, but mind is there. So at least you feel relieved. Yes, mind is there, which is true. Therefore, I'm working now, and I'm doing practice. I'm doing meditation because of the mind is there. Then mind is not inherently existed. Okay, it's very clear. So eventually, I can expect that the mind can be free from all these their afflictions. So both are very very valuable to me. Yeah. So therefore, philosophical sometimes it may make you confusion, but you have to know the statement itself is refers to the condition with the practitioners, not the teaching itself. Yeah, I think so. So the wisdom, Tibetan words, yeshe, the jhana in Sanskrit. The subject, the topic we are talking about, the consciousness and then the wisdom, which means jhana. So, as I said yesterday, there's no two separate things. Solidly say this is the thing of consciousness, and this is the jhana, yeshe, which is kind of free from the consciousness, and it's kind of like you are in the shopping center. I choose this one. I don't want this one, right? So I don't want a consciousness. I want jhana. You cannot choose like that. There's no such way. So as a practical way, as a meditator, when you do meditation, you are making the consciousness into jhana, because the consciousness itself is never separate from the jhana. It is the inner characteristic of the jhana, yeshe. But because of the delusive mind, temporary delusive mind, the seemingly that delusive mind the deceptive mental, negative mental attitude. So it becomes like consciousness. We believe, oh, this is the source of samsara. So consciousness is the one who makes us confused, who makes us wondering this is samsara. But actually not the consciousness made it, you have made it yourself. Yes. The consciousness is rather helping us, not drawing us in the samsara. As I said, fixation. Fixation is your extreme. It's not the consciousness. Consciousness is so beautiful. Consciousness helps you to let you realize what is jhana from the consciousness. Without the consciousness, you cannot find the jhana. Although you are so excited with the jhana, but without the consciousness, you cannot find the jhana. Yeah? So therefore, meditation, view, conduct, practice, whatever you do, the purpose is to discover this beautiful jhana from the consciousness itself. You cannot throw away the consciousness and then try to find the jhana from somewhere else. You cannot. This is really exhaustible. So therefore, the Indian great Mahasiddha, his name is Maitripa. Then the Naropa's great master, Marpa, the Marpa's great master, there are two, the Naropa and the Maitripa. So in Maitripa's Doha, and he says in Tibet, I recite in Tibetan, Namto Namji Zawa Seminde, the first verse. Namto Namji Zawa Seminde. Namto Zawa Sem. Namto Namji. Namji. Namto Namji Zawa Seminde. All thoughts, the good thoughts, the bad thoughts, yeah, the unvirtuous thoughts or virtuous thoughts, whatever thoughts. So all thoughts arise from the sen, the mind, which is true because of the mind is, as I said yesterday, when Buddha says sen ni, the mind is. So what he did try to tell us is this is the basis of all other thoughts, the good and the bad, the thought of the samsara, thought of the nirvana. All thoughts arise, so the foundation of the mind, thought, is the base, or is the mind. So therefore, Namto Namji Zawa Seminde. First verse. Second verse, Te me chinna Namto Gyurme te. So now you see, the more you analyze through the meditation, that's the best analysis in the meditation. So the more you analyze from the meditation, then you find the mind is just name, is not there truly. So because of this, then the thoughts are not truly there. If you find that, if you experience fully this, then does not mean thought disappear, but thought will not disturb you. So that's the happy. Right? I'm not expecting thought less, but I'm expecting thought don't disturb me. I want more thought because I enjoy it. And, yes, I like it, but I'm scared because the thought disturb me. Maybe because of I'm too much. So therefore, so you see, the meditation is not for the making thought less, but meditation is help you to make a friendly with the thought. And thought is there, but thought do not disturb you. Instead of not disturbing you, the thought helps you to strengthen the power of your meditation. Therefore, those yogis really enjoy with the thought. And more thought arise, so yogi's power really increasing. Yes, that's the yogi's technique. And that's the yogi's specialty. But it's not our specialty at all. Don't try that until you stabilize your mind, okay? 남도 남지 자와 세민이 대면에는 남도 이면 제한단 체매 오면 난줄배 선제 따로 모두 라마티 야 제한단 체매 젠 temper. The temper means memory, yeah, and or also mind. The ten also Tibetan word also temper it means mind. Tendan teme, the mind or mindless, or thought or thoughtless. Really doesn't matter to the yogi and the yoginis. It says tendan teme or. When you say he or she is a great meditator, so that means you are really doesn't matter at all whether you become thoughtless or you have a full of thought. Really doesn't matter. But for the beginner, we are so particular because we are expecting for the state of thoughtlessness. When thought arises, then you are so depressed, and then you complain, and then you said, my meditation is not going well. Why? Because too much thought. When I'm doing meditation, I have full of thought. When I'm not doing meditation, I'm okay. I think, yeah. No, you haven't, because some of my friends, they report me this way. Then I said, you are so special. Because mine is different. I have more problem with when I'm not doing meditation, but you are okay when you are not doing meditation. So you are extremely special. Yeah. So then I asked you, no need to come to me. So the last verse, Semdi Takpe Matu Rangwa Tim. Semdi, mind is, when you analyze deeply and in a subtle way, if you research or if you search the mind, how does it exist? Then he says, Ranglatim, it does not exist. Then it dissolves into its own nature. Its own nature is what? Its own nature is the Dhammadhatu, Tibetan words Chuji In. The Chuji In is the Dhammadhatu in the Sanskrit. It's the foundation of our practice, is the path of our practice, is the fruition of our practice. And it is the one who that makes us realize the true nature of our mind. All samsaric phenomena and the nirvana phenomena arise from the Dhammadhatu. So it's the kind of greatest mother, it's a great mother. Like Tibetan word Gyurme, the prajna paramita, Sharapti Paruto Chimba. Sharapti Paruto Chimba, Gyurme, Chuji In are all the same. All phenomena arise from there. Then your job is done. That's it. So we need that one. We need this one to be discovered. So the great masters, from their experience, Tibetan call Nyongwa. So the great experience. Why experience? Because they have actualized all these. They have been mingled, well blended. So therefore, from their experience, design all kinds of prajna paramita, Dharmakaya, Dharmadhatu, Mahamudra, Mahaati. There are so many. But all these try to let us understand is our own nature. That's it. We are now far from our own nature because of this, the dualistic mental attitude. You, I, this, that, other side, this side. No? All these different notions that created by own discursive thought, which is not our nature at all. Eventually, the meditation is not going to make them disappear, but rather the power of a meditation bring them into your own nature. There you will realize this all come from our own nature. And then once you recognize it, or once you discover it, then it goes back to its own nature. That's beautiful. Yes. So in our practice, whether you are practicing with the wisdom of view, or wisdom of meditation, or the wisdom of the conduct, really doesn't matter. So all that we have to do is with our mind and thought. So that is our essential practice, I think. Because in the Vajrayana practice, given like a Gyurme practice, Dzogchen practice, that the stage of the creation and the stage of the accomplishment, all for the mind and the thought. So it is something like you are working with that, yes, so, and also sometimes like transformation. You are trying to transform the thoughts into the wisdom, or you bring that on the path whatsoever. The all methods is for the working with the thoughts and the mind. Saraha, the great master, Mahasiddha, in his Doha, it says, Zawachu, Simi Nakanda. Zawachu means have to cut the root of the samsara. So this is our toughest job, actually, most difficult job, to cut the root. If you are yogi or yogini, you still need to cut the root of this suffering. And even you are a philosopher or whatever, so still need to cut the root of the samsara. So all our practice from the Hinayana, Mahayana, Vajrayana, there are so many skills and the methods and the antidotes. Okay, the skill is different. Skill is different. They show all different kind of skills, but all for cutting root of samsara is totally same. So therefore, Saraha says, Zawache. Once you are able to cut the root of the samsara, then you can find it immediately or spontaneously. The mind is like a space, free from everything. We need free, isn't it? We are working everything for the freedom. And I want to be happy. Your happiness can be found from the freedom. It's not a temporary freedom, but I want ultimate freedom or absolute freedom. So that freedom you can attain by only cutting the root of fixation. The fixation is the one who not let you be free. Although we want to free, we try all our best to be free, but because of the fixation is the one who trap you and don't want to go out. So therefore, Saraha says, Zawache, Sim Nakanda. So once you cut the root of the samsara, then you are in the space. And you are not going to fall down. Then the second verse, Zawache, Sim Nakanda. Gondo mepe yila nichate. Once you are free from the fixation, affliction, then your mind is totally clear and brilliant and full of awareness. Yeah? Then, no meditation. He said, Gomdu me. There's nothing to be meditated. Nothing to be meditated. If you do meditation that time, you are just pretending. You are not meditating, you are just kidding. So that's the best, isn't it? So, Gomdu mepe. Mepe, Junsendewa. Gomdu mepe, nothing to be meditated. That's why Yila Mizade. There's nothing to be labeled. So everything is natural. Therefore, so you see, you are totally freedom. Then you can walk in the street, you can do anything you like, but these circumstances never obscure your mind, because you have a full of skill how to work with them. So you can empower fully through the circumstances, rather than the circumstances empower you. 타마시에바 정말 저는 이거는 말이 바라서 다그서 교육고 타마시에바. So that moment we call this is a tamashieva. Tamashieva is the innocent mind. So the mind is totally free from all circumstances. Tibetan words tama. Tama is the unfabricated or natural mind. Tamashieva. So tamashieva is a very common word in Mahamudra. So every time they call tamashieva, tamashieva. Yeah. So and even the scholars nowadays, they are so keen these words. But I'm not sure whether they have this tamashieva or not. But they are so excited with this word tamashieva, which is a very good sign actually. But then tamashieva, that you are not making tamashieva, because if you well prepared everything, the tamashieva naturally arises. It's not that you are doing everything for bringing tamashieva from somewhere to you, which you cannot do at all. Don't try that. So tamashieva is always there. The problem is we don't recognize. Tamashieva is always within us. Always. You are Buddha, you are Bodhisattva, you are Shavaka practitioner, or you are just ordinary sentient being, whatsoever. Really, free from these conditions, the tamashieva never diluted. Never. Never upgrade and never diluted. Never obscured and never polluted. Therefore, the tamashieva is the only one, your reliable friend. The most, because never run away from you. And whatever you do, all kinds of things, he or she, I don't know what he or she, what gender, but this tamashieva is not going to be upset with you. But he or she feels pity to you, because he or she is always with you, but you don't see this tamashieva. So tamashieva really feel pity with you. Yes. So therefore, don't let tamashieva be upset. So let cooperate with it through the proper attitude, through the correction, through the analysis, through the training of your mind. So therefore, tamashieva ranglu muma majubasha. Then he continues. tamashieva ranglu Gyurme Nipa Tali Mariba. Gyurme Nipa, like the conceptual meditation, the conceptual view, the conceptualized practice will never disturb you. You can still do prostration, you can still do like recitation, you can still do visualization, you can be as normal as you like, but these will never contaminate your pure mind. Because the mind that is the purest state is being attained completely. So therefore, Gyurme Nipa Tali Male will never dilute it, your mind again. So you are at the state of the purest mind. So then that's the end of your practice, he said. End of. Then you don't need to do correction. Otherwise, you have to correct. We have to do correction every day with our practice through the development of wisdom. We have to see which one is correct, and then we have to adopt that. Which one is incorrect, we have to abandon, avoid that. This is very careful. And this is very important. We have to be very careful with this. And one cannot simply say everything is a mind. No, it will not work with you at all. That's sometimes too much. we call this extremist. Because you have not realized, yet you say all these kind of things. Everything is a mind, everything is a shunyata, everything is emptiness. So everything is pure, there is no impurities, everything is pure. There is no you, there is no I, everything is a mind. There is no water, there is no cup, there is no table. So you are going to go sometimes a strange way. So as I make a job usually, maybe you have heard this job, because some of my friends also scholars, they used to say that everything is emptiness and everything is shunyata. But when they themselves get an insult from others, then in front of me, everything is not empty, because they get angry. Yes. When they are in the trouble, they go to a monastery asking them, please pray for me. So the prayer is not emptiness. Yes. And when they take a flight, so when there's a turbulence and they recite the mantras, they didn't say everything is shunyata. No. They didn't say everything is a mental projection. So in front of them, to them, airplane is there, the turbulence is there, and the feeling of a fear is there. So this shows that you have not actualized. You say everything, but the expression tells a different story. Yeah, interesting. Lanka Sutra, the Tibetan word Lanka Sheklendo. And that's a sutra actually mainly Buddha taught to disciples of the Lanka. And in this sutra, Tawa Tamse Rabambe, Deni Gyurme Tsinito, Tawa Tamse Rabamba. All the views, you have to be beyond all the views. So this means, what views? The view that the free from the fixate to the external object. And then the next, the fixate to the self, the mind, all the characteristics of the mind. Be free from these two notions, the fixation to the others and the fixation to the self, that is the mind. Then it says that Tawa Tamse Deva. So that means that the beyond all the views. So that is the birthless. So that is the final statement of the searching of your mind. So we search the mind, so you find this statement, or you reach that stage, then that is as Dhagpo says, this is the end of your research, end of your analysis, end of your examination. So the Mahamudra, Mahāti, or Madhyamika, the statement is totally the same, but the only difference is the way they explain. That's needed. We need more explanation, all kinds of explanation to overcome this problem. So therefore, the clear light. So clear light is not something like a bride of the light, or like a sunshine, or like a moonshine, or electricity shines to you. So it's not like that. But no choice, they have to use this word. Yeah? So without description, or then one cannot introduce you, but make sure that when you do meditation, when you do practice, you have to be far beyond the description, far beyond the explanation, far beyond the concept, far beyond the word. Otherwise you're stuck in the word. Sometimes we have this problem, because you're stuck in the term of like shunyata, you're stuck inside the term of like emptiness, or the clear light, or the true natural mind. We keep using these terms, but lack of realization, experience. So therefore, this is Sajja Pandita says, Sajja Pandita, one of the greatest the scholar in such a tradition, he says, if you are unable to make it beyond, far beyond from the trap of the word and explanation and the communication, then you will fail to reach the realization, which is very true. So commonly we keep using this, but we do practice very little, less. No? But we talk every day, Shunyata, Madhimika, Mahamudra. I think here maybe how many people? I think most of you know what is Shunyata, emptiness. Everybody says everything is Shunyata, everything is emptiness. I'm sure you all know. And you all know what is Mahamudra, Mahati. You have heard many times, not only one or two. Every master repeatedly they tell you Mahamudra, Mahati. The ultimate is the own mind, the true nature of mind. Yeah? Yeah, but then you have to be honest with yourself. Yourself. How many did you practice? Of that to find what you have heard. You have to put it inside the heart. So when someone says be patient, we know patience is so important because I am Bodhisattva. So I have taken Bodhisattva vow. I have to do patient. I have to be patient. And because anger is no good, it's totally against the Bodhisattva attitude. We know this logically. We know, intellectually. We know conceptualize concept. But then somebody really make you irritate. Did you ever really manage to be patient in front of this person? So you have to be honest with yourself. Not it's okay. It's still okay if you cannot be honest with others. But we have to be honest to myself first. So put your arm on your chest and think of really, am I really Bodhisattva or not? So then only you can say that, oh yes, I have taken Bodhisattva vow. So I am Bodhisattva now. So similar. What I'm trying to tell you is, don't trap inside the word, inside the description, inside the explanation, inside the commentary, inside the verses, the root text. But it's rather bring it into the mind as much as you can. So this is going to be tremendously beneficial. So we will continue in the afternoon.
See you. Okay. Thank you. Bye.